across. He's done it! Reed Denver throws a no-hitter!
All right. Okay. I guess welcome back to SoCal Sports. My name's Vincent. I'm an Angels fan. This is Brendan. Yankees fan. All right. And today we're going to talk about more trade deadlines in baseball and more trades and what teams are going to be buyers or sellers.
The biggest news today, Vincent, Max Scherzer to the Rangers. That I kept seeing stuff as like serious talks, but I was like, I don't think it's going to go through. But then I saw a done deal, and I was like, wow. What were your initial thoughts?
I didn't see it coming, to be honest, because I saw a thing that said that he was not interested in leaving New York because it was a good situation with his family. But,
I think the Rangers now are going to look scary, definitely, because now they got Dane Dunning and Evaldi. What I said, of course, was next year they're going to have the duo back together, DeGrom, but we'll have to wait for that. But still, Scherzer's going to fit in pretty well, I think, with that group, and I think he's going to be happy that he's on a team that is in playoff contention. And, I think the Mets are going to keep doing that. I think they're just going to sell most of their... I would not be surprised if by tomorrow Verlander's gone too. Because
I did see the Dodgers are heavy pursuers for Verlander.
Yeah, I said, I was talking to I was like thinking to myself when I was outside, I was like, what teams would go for Verlander? And I thought Dodgers, Astros again, because I think he wouldn't mind going back there. Rangers, of course, somehow they could probably pull it off, and Giants. Those were my four, but that would be cool, whoever team gets him. But yeah, I kind of like what the Mets are doing. They're focusing on rebuilding because after buying so much in the offseason, it's obviously shown it's not worked out. So hopefully this new take helps them.
It just shows you this a perfect example. It proves that you cannot buy yourself a ring. And you can see it with the Padres, they're doing the same thing, and they're now realizing the pieces that they should be finding them fixed.
You got to be teams like the Rays and the Orioles, think smarter, develop, draft well, do that.
Exactly.
But yeah, so that was the big news for basically today. But then what happened a few days ago, Vincent? What was another trade that happened?
Dodgers acquired Joe Kelly again. He takes his number back, number 17. That means Miguel Vargas will have to find a new number when he comes back from the minors. They also got Lance Lynn, who is now number 35.
And everybody was saying like, "Oh, Dodgers are look at these moves." But I as much as I hate the Dodgers, they have one of the best pitching developments, and I know somehow they're gonna make. I mean, you saw with your Tyler Anderson last year that you just got. He had like a 2 ERA. That guy became a god basically.
Sure this season.
So watch. I bet Lance Lynn a few months left. He's just gonna unlock a new level, and the Dodgers are gonna find a way to felicitate him. Mm-hmm. And also Joe Kelly, I think.
Looking at his stats with the White Sox, he was about over a 6 ERA.
He was having a bad year.
This is not obviously his worst year ever. But going to the Dodgers in the second half and the position they're at, they can fix him. They have good.
And I think they could either turn him into more of a long reliever or just keep him starter and just.
Well, that's the thing though. Lance Lynn, he can eat up innings, so he can go in.
I could see them converting him to a long reliever until they get Kershaw back, and then when I think they'll use him as a starter, but then when Kershaw gets back, I think they'll convert him more to a long reliever, because I think that's what the guy needs to be. He's in the older set of his career, so I think that's what he needs to start maybe doing, just go into relief and eat up innings, give out his best pitches, just get better. But
and, he has the stuff. He does. He has the stuff with the White Sox. But let's talk about Joe Kelly. He's back.
Joe Kelly. I mean, that guy has a great pitch mix. He was. I never saw why he went to the White Sox. I mean, of course, money, but still, he obviously wants to be back on the Dodgers, and I think that was a smart move by the Dodgers because they're both struggling.
It's fun because the Dodgers they're getting some attitude on their mounds now.
Yeah, now they got him, Mr. Sad Face,
and they got who they get else.
They've made some noise. They got Kike, they got Meterzar. I mean, the moves they're making aren't big moves, but I think they're gonna somehow find a way to make those moves mean something.
And the things like that, Dodgers will be in the postseason, but standard bats like that, they can just go crazy. You know,
Yeah.
for example, it's like
But
a trade version last year.
yeah, true. Playoffs are different, but yeah, and then of course a big guy that we talked about a few days ago was Cody Bellinger, but now I just seen the Cubs. They're almost they're over 500. They've been on an 8-game winning streak or something. So
Yeah.
this really last stretch of games, because today's what, the 29th, so deadline's the first. So if the Cubs somehow win their next few games, I think they won't sell, and I think they will buy because their division's so weak, and I think they'll go for it. Which probably means Bellinger will not be on the block. But we'll see. This last few week of games is really going to matter to a lot of teams. I mean,
Yeah.
let's go over your Angels. How are they doing so far, bud?
So the Angels, we obviously had a rough game yesterday with Giolito on the mound. Gave up 3 home runs.
Yeah.
Wasn't the greatest. You know, he had some good pitches with 5 strikeouts within 5 innings, but he just, you know, I think the Blue Jays caught on.
And you just really can't blame him, though. Like, he didn't get much help. Like, Ohtani was the only one that helped him. Like, yeah, say what you want about Giolito, but he did keep him in the game.
The Angels are not good in RSP, running the scoring position. They are not good at that. Last night, they had 2 chances with bases loaded, and they couldn't do anything. You know, and this just proves that, you know, the bats need to start getting hot, you know? And it's also showing an example that we can't hit against good teams.
Yeah.
And, you know, I don't blame him, though. Last night he had good stuff, but just the Blue Jays are better, I guess.
Yeah.
And today, let's talk about Taylor Ward. Awful, ugly situation.
Hopefully he's okay and he could come back soon, but if he's going to be on the IL, that's going to be another hit to that poor Angels team that they're already trying to stay above water that they are, but if they lose him too, I think that might mean that the season might be going downhill from there because...
And it sucks because, you know, right when he's about to start heating up, this always happens, you know, like just something just has to get in the way with this team. And, you know, this might be late, but Angels might be, you know, last minute sellers. Who knows?
Yeah, we'll see. But now, get away from all that sadness. Talk about my team, you know.
Yankees.
Yankees, we finally got Judge back. The game we got him back, he was good, got some walks. Sadly, we got walked off in that game. Not a fun game. But, you know, today was a great day. I saw some of the game. I was like, you know what? Hopefully we can pull out a win today. We really need to. We have the Orioles tomorrow to close out that series. Then we'll play Tampa. I told myself if we win these next 2 games before the deadline, I think we will be buyers. However, I think if we lose the next few, I think we won't be sellers, but I think we'll be a hybrid. We'll buy some and sell some, but definitely was a fun game today. Giancarlo Stanton hit an absolute bomb over to left field. Hit his 14th of the year. Stanton, you know, he's been struggling, hitting like in the low 200s, but I think that's what it's going to be for the rest of this season is he's just going to be hitting in that low 200 plateau, but then he'll hit some home runs. I think he'll finish with some like 20-something, but the big story was Judge. I mean, he hit his 20th home run, finally came back, hit a bomb. It was great. They were up. Clark Schmidt had a rougher outing. He had 3 runs given up, so it wasn't great for him, but, you know, the Yankees, they pulled it off. I mean, Higgy, our catcher, he's been hot. He went 3 for 4 for a catcher. That's amazing. Then Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. Last season, I remember the Yankee fans were hating on him. They wanted him gone as a shortstop. But today, he bases loaded, 2 outs. He came up clutch in a 10 pitch at bat. Got one over to left field. Hit a bases clearing double. 8-3. Yankees won. That made my day. Because, I mean, I thought we were going to lose again because it looked like Schmidt was struggling. But, you know, Yankees willed themselves back. But my only concerning thing is, sadly, tomorrow Boone said the Judge won't start, which I'm concerned about because since Judge has got back, they've already looked better.
Yeah, that's the thing, though. I think they activate him too early. I don't think
so. I think he's ready because he just hit a home run. He's been amazing so far since he's come back. He hasn't been like Stanton where he struck out 30 times. He came back. He's drawn some walks. He's got on base, and they're gonna take him out not over anything bad. They're just going to take him out to give him rest. It's smart. They want to ease him back in. They don't want to just get him in there, play 60 games or play all those games. So my only concern is I wish they kept him because tomorrow is the big game. because if we lose, that's not going to be great. So I wish they kept him in. He's an Oriole killer. I mean, he has like 39 home runs against them. He's just amazing. But I don't know. It was a great game, and so far, looking up to our trade deadline, I'm really looking much better. I don't think we're going to have a shot at Bellinger, but I think we will. I keep seeing stuff about Randall Gritchett from the Rockies, and I think we're going to go for him because the Rockies are not doing anything this year. So I wouldn't be surprised if we get him. But yeah, that's what's happened with my team, but so far, so good.
With the Angels, I'm sensing some tension with the Blue Jays as yesterday. Matt Chapman was yelling at his manager, saying,
"Yeah, I saw that. That was hilarious."
He's the only effing guy that can hit, and Phil Nevin, our manager, was aware of that. And last night too, he was gonna kill.
Is he wrong? Is he wrong?
No. But last night too, there was that awful call by the umpire that blew the game. It was funny because the umpire, Phil Eastbrook, I think, walked down the Angels' dugout, and Phil Nevin had to be restrained from almost killing him. And
thank God he's not on our team anymore.
No.
Crazy guy.
But today, Phil Nevin, he got suspended one game and fined for that action. And
not looking good. Your team is in a lot of disarray.
And Alejandro Kirk. Well, he killed us today. But Alec Manoah, that we don't respect for that.
He's been looking a bit. I mean, as bad as it was, that guy, I'm going to give him some respect because he started off atrocious. He has another good start. Gave up, one run? I mean, that guy really is showing that he might be back. However, I don't think it's going to make him a star, but I think he'll come back to being what he was. So I do feel good for that.
There's still a lot of pitchers who I think are trying to adjust to the new rules and pitch clock.
Yeah,
and I think he had it the worst. Like he got released down to a Sunday league in Florida. But I think he's starting to find his stuff now.
I think a lot of pitchers are by next year are gonna start realizing how to pitch better. Like Sandy, who's been struggling. Scherzer, who's been struggling. I think it's gonna be better. I think a lot of pitchers are gonna figure out by next year.
Also, look at Verlander. He started off a little, uneasy, but
little wonky. Yeah,
give him some time, and he found it.
Yeah, he found his way back. But yeah, so far baseball's been pretty, especially for a trade deadline. Baseball's been pretty quiet so far. Biggest move, Max Scherzer, but hopefully tomorrow's the 30th, so 30th, 31st, hopefully, and the 1st, the deadline day will hopefully be big days. I really want some good action here because that was a big trade, but I hope more to come. That's gonna be entertaining to watch, but I can't wait to see, honestly, Scherzer on the Rangers. I honestly think he's going to be better there because I think he's not going to be in the negative, surrounding.
He's not in front of the bright lights anymore. I think Texas is a good fit,
back with his teammate.
Yeah. And, I just think that fans are really going to love him there. He's going to get a lot of support. And then the offense has been hot.
Yeah, the offense incredible.
Texas, except these past couple nights against the Padres, their offense has been slacking.
Yeah, not great. Padres have been trying to find their way back. I mean, they've really been a 1-2-man show with Snell and Soto. I mean, honestly, Tatis has been. I mean, yeah, he hadn't started until 60 games into he got suspended, so he wasn't starting. But he came back.
I have to agree with the Tatis being snubbed during the All-Star game.
Yeah, he definitely deserved it for the time he came in.
He has been very consistent with the Padres, and I think people are overlooking that too much.
Yeah. It's not that he hasn't been bad, it's just he hasn't looked like how he was, like the NL MVP or crazy good.
I mean, he hasn't played in a year.
I know, I get it. But I think the Padres, I think as much as they're trying to win, I just think they don't have it this year, which sucks because I think Juan Soto, when his time is up there, I don't think he'll come back unless they turn it around because although they have a good team, they signed Bogarts to that huge deal. He's been meh. They signed Machado to a huge deal. He got injured, which was not for great. But he came back. He's been doing great. But still, it's just not looking good for that team. But we'll see, They
need to fill in a few gaps. And, they just got to focus. instead of going after big stars, just focus on getting the small players, the key players, who will help get those gaps, and you can focus on kind of rebuilding towards a postseason run. Which obviously
my favorite player, honestly, sorry to interrupt, on that team that's underrated, Hassan Kim. That guy has not been talked about on that team, and he shows up every night on that team in such a good lineup. I mean, they have guys that easily could be in his spot, or they could trade for that could be better. But that guy has shown up to every day. He's looked great. He's such a good like 5-tool player because he's done great on the defensive side and he can hit, which last year he was struggling hitting and he was only good defense, but this year he's turned it around. So that's a cool player I like on that team that's underrated. But yeah we'll see. But baseball, we'll see. I mean, what, 2 more months left to play until good old playoff baseball?
These are the games that matter, and you never know. Teams sometimes come out of nowhere.
These are the months that are going to decide a lot of teams. Judge recently said he was like, wait to maybe Yankees to see a run. I really hope that happens because last year we were doing great, but then August we fell apart. So I'm hoping this year is the turnaround, This time August we do great. So I think if Yankees can keep up this offense and, pitch better, but we're going to, Nestor had a rehab outing, so he's going to be back probably first or second week of August, so that's going to be great. But hopefully Yankees can find their way back, and I hope the Angels can not figure out what they're doing, but find a way to just get back to where they were.
Yeah. I totally agree. Why don't we talk about the Astros game today against Tampa? So
blowout. That was a blowout.
It was 14-1, I think.
Astros, they've been amazing so far. And on the opposite side of the story, the Rays, awful. They're 3 of their last 7.
Sometimes teams, they waste all the energy in the beginning, and this is just how it turns out.
It's a long game.
With the teams in the past, we're going back about 2 years ago when people started hot, and sort of the Cardinals, they all fall in the second half. And, with the Orioles especially taking first, and that's all theirs right now.
And in such a tight division, the Rays really can't be playing like this. I mean, with the Red Sox, Yankees are going to start heating up, and you have the Blue Jays on their tail. That team needs to figure it out, and I don't blame them. I mean, most of their pitchers are either done for the year or injured. Glasnow's looked horrible since off the IL. Their young rookie, Taj Bradley, who was supposed to be great, had an awful Astros start, which was awful. Rasmussen, I think, got injured. Jeffrey Springs was injured. They're out for the year. So they really need to make some noise, and I could see them maybe potentially going for Verlander just because they need help in that pitching rotation. Or honestly, they're going to sink in August because if they keep playing like this, I wouldn't be surprised if they don't finish in the playoffs because, they started off like this, but without that pitching help, they're just going to keep going downhill. So. And that's just disappointing, 14-3. The Rays, that was their biggest feature, their offense. They were on fire, but it looked like the offense has been cold and quiet. So we'll see, though, if they can come back and maybe try to figure things out. But we'll see what the Rays do.
Yeah, just need to find a little spark in there, but they gotta get things brewing. That's just how it's gonna work.
Fun thing today, I saw this. Tim Anderson hit his first home run finally.
Wow.
He hit a bomb. The announcers were funny. They're like, he finally hit one. I mean, poor guy. I mean, that guy was like, I didn't like him. He was a hothead. He thought he was so good. And, I mean, you get what you get, I guess, because he's been off to a terrible start. The fact that was his first home run, so... Honestly, though, hopefully he can find his way back to being the star that he was, though.
The White Sox should trade him. I think the Marlins would be a great fit for the shortstop. Because, the Marlins, they're pushing for a wild card spot.
Oh, yeah, they already got David Robertson, former closer for the Yankees.
Yeah, from the Mets. And, Scherzer did express his anger on that also.
But I like what the Marlins have been doing because they looked like they had that division not wrapped. Of course, the Braves are there. The Braves are going to take that division. But now the Phillies are heating up, and they're hoping that Trey Turner can find his bat because if he does, that team's going to be definitely scary coming September, August because they've been on fire.
Yeah, yeah. Just looking at them, the Marlins, I really like what they're doing right here. With especially adding, I think they should go forward with getting Tim Anderson. I feel like that'd be a great fit with especially him and Jazz. I think that'd be pretty good.
And Luis Arias.
Yeah, the guy's great.
But yeah, that team, that's a nice, fun team to watch, but we'll see what there's this like I said, this last week is going to really determine a lot of teams what they're going to do at the deadline, whether it's buy or sell. These last games, honestly, a lot of these teams need to treat these games as like World Series games at this point because do or die at this point of whether or not is the GM going to say, all right, we're buying, or whether or not the GM's going to go, nah, we're selling. This team's a dumpster fire. But we'll see for a lot of teams what they can do. But I hope this deadline will get spicier and spicier.
Yeah. All right. We got anything other topics you can bring up?
Nah, I think that's about it. I think we can close it out with what were you saying before that we should do, Vincent? What's your cool idea?
We should do a quick, maybe some trivia on our team. So why don't you go first? And
all right, let me see. We'll ask each other 3 questions. Let's see what we'll get. Let's say 10 seconds to answer. If you don't, you're wrong. How about that?
All right, that's fair.
But hold on, give me a second. Let me think. You think about yours, and then
you gotta think of some questions. I might have to find some online.
Yeah, no, you're good. I might have to just think through my head.
Hold on. Let's see. I know I'm trying to think of some.
Okay, I got one, but how about we'll go one off. Like, I'll ask you one question, you ask me one question, and then we'll think about the other 2. So let's just start with a question. I got one ready.
Okay, what's your question?
All right. Who is a famous pitcher in this era, like the 2010s, that stayed with the Angels through his whole career?
A pitcher?
Mm-hmm.
Stayed with the Angels, and he's Here,
I'll give you the 10 seconds is up, but I'll give you a hint. Very good pitcher. He started in their last playoff appearance. I'll give you 5 seconds.
And they're still pitching.
No, I said they had their they stayed with the Angels for the longest time. Stayed. They're not staying. They haven't stayed with them in a while. They're retired, but they were the longest. Like his whole career was with the Angels. He had a pretty good career.
Jared Weaver?
There you go. All right. I should have got you on time, but there you go. Yeah. All right, your question.
Okay. Who threw the first Yankees no-hitter?
No-hitter?
Yes, no-hitter.
Ooh, that's hard. I mean, I know the perfect game one, but no-hitter. Can I get a hint? Like what era? Like what era? I said this era, which was like 2010. So give me like the era.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, it was about late World War One. It was
late World War One.
Yeah.
So the 1920s.
Just before, like right before 1920s, just right before 1920s.
The 1900s. I gave you an easy question. Jeez. All right, give me like one more hint. I gave you like 3 good hints. So give me like 1 or 2 more decent.
I'll give you the year because this is a hard question. The year was 1917.
1917.
Yeah.
Pitcher from the Yankees. I mean, I have one in my head, but I don't think it's what it is. But
Whitey Ford. I'll throw it out there because your time's pretty much
Whitey Ford.
It was George Mogridge.
Oh yeah, I know George Mogridge. No, that's yeah. Wow, that's not a easy. That's a easy question, ain't it? All right, let me think of another one. If we're going on that level, my gosh.
Oh, dang. Okay. Let's see. What we got, Brandon? What we got?
Okay, I'll give you one. Who is a first baseman switch hitter that played for the Angels and the Yankees?
Ooh.
That's all you get. I'll give you 20 seconds.
Like I just heard their name. Hmm.
10 seconds.
I can't switch hitter.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What's your guess?
I don't know.
Mark Teixeira.
I probably would have gone.
Yeah. Hey, there you go. That's payback. Freaking
Okay,
George,
okay.
whatever. I would have never known that.
Let's see. Let's see. What year did what year did Babe Ruth join the Yankees after leaving the Red Sox?
Well, he was on the 27 team, so it has to be before that. Is it in the 20s? Can I at least have that?
Let me see.
Or wait.
It was early 1920s.
Wait. Oh, I think I know, but now that you say early 1920s, I don't think it was like 19. I thought I had a date in my head, but now I don't know if it's right. All right, like last hint. Is it in the time? Is it in the time between 1910 and 1920 that he joined?
Yeah.
Like what? And is it a year that he joined? 1910 and 1920 is one of those years he joined.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
1919.
You are off by 1 year.
18?
1920.
It was 20.
1920.
Oh, I thought it was 19 for sure.
Yes.
I swear I saw something that was like he joined 19. I know the money. It was 25,000 that they gave him. But man, you should. If you
Wow,
asked me
that
the
was
money,
it. 25,000? You knew
I mean
that.
back then that was a lot of money. Of course, now that would be 100 million or something.
Oh,
But
for sure.
all right. Let me think of your last question.
Take it easy.
Hold on.
All right.
Need to figure out.
Think I'm long and hard here.
Oh, I know that. Oh, what's his name? I know the question I want to say, but I don't remember the name. I'll just look up the name after if you get it right. Or I don't know. Who was the famous player of the Angels that got injured while celebrating a home run?
Oh, it was in the walk off. Oh, it was a walk off. Oh
I
no.
don't even know the name, but
I know I
who?
know exactly who you're talking about. It was a day game. I think they had the cutoff sleeve jerseys when they had him at the time. He hits a walk-off home run, rounds the bases, steps on home plate, and falls, and injures. But I just don't know the name.
I know. I don't even know the name, but I want to say I know it, but now I'm not.
Oh, oh,
I'll give you 10 seconds.
what's his name? Dang, I know. I saw a video of that the other day too.
And
I don't know. I forgot his name, but I know
look it up.
I don't.
Who was it? I don't know, but I just knew that was my question. Was it? I want to say like Melky Cabrera, Bobby Abreu. Was it any of those guys? I don't know. Just look it up. I thought. Just look up famous Angel player to injure himself from a walk off or whatever.
Let's see. That's
I thought it was like, yeah, it was some like young star.
all right. It was Kendi Morales.
Oh yeah, Morales.
Yeah,
That's who it
a
was.
walk-off grand slam.
Oh, and yeah, he injured himself. He jumped, injured himself in
Yeah,
the
he
leg,
jumped. I
and
think he
gone.
slipped off home plate.
All right, ask
Man,
me my buzzer question.
this one
I
should be
mean,
pretty
my
easy.
last buzzer
Pretty easy. You're
beater.
a Yankees fan. You should know this. If you don't know this, I'll be shocked. All right. How many perfect games have the Yankees thrown?
Nah, give me something difficult. That one's recent. Like it's four. I know it's four. It's Dwight. I'll do one better. Dwight Gooden, David Wells, Domingo Armand, and who was the last guy? Not Abbott. Abbott threw a no hitter. It
Yeah.
was like, well, it was another. It was another D. It was Don Larson. It's not Dwight Gooden. I'm stupid. Don Larson, David Wells, Domingo Armand. It was another D. What was his name? David again? I think it was a David. I don't know, but I
No,
know
I'll go
those
with
guys.
it.
But give me a different question because the number's too easy.
Let's see. Hmm. Hmm. Dang,
Just
uh,
think. Go for it.
I have like a funny one in my head that I feel like I've said before to you. I want to see if you know it.
Shoot.
I'm just trying to figure out how to word this though.
Yeah, because that one was just, I can't allow that. That's too easy.
It's too easy. Um. Okay. Well, I'm gonna try to figure out how to word this one. What was a controversial thing Babe Ruth did that to me was kind of funny when I found out, but was
It,
what did
wasn't it
Babe
like
Ruth?
he ate hot dogs and drank beer before every game? That was like a controversial thing that people were saying. Yeah, do like a not down that that's the opinionated though. That could be a lot of he could have done a lot of controversial things. Like there's not like one certain thing. I don't think. I don't know, but give me a different one. Give me a different one. Just think of like a question.
What year did Lou Gehrig retire?
It was late. Oh, he was on the 2017, and then I think he retired a few years after. It was like, was it between the 20s and 30s? Can I at least have that?
From 1920 to 1930.
Yeah, like, or yeah.
It was a little later. It was between 1930s and 1940s.
Oh yeah, I forget he played a lot, but because he had AL, Lou Gehrig's disease. I know he was in 27, and then I don't think he played that many years. Did he play? Is it in the 30s at least?
It is in the 30s.
Okay, I'm gonna say 1934. What was it?
1939, he retired.
I honestly had that in my head. I was like, is it 39? But I didn't know if it was 39 or 34. I don't know
Yeah.
why I thought 34, but that's a tough one. That's a good one though.
Yeah. Well, with our last 3 minutes up, that was some fun trivia.
Yeah, that was some good trivia. I technically will tie 1-1. I
One
mean,
to
you gave
one.
me that easy, perfect game question, but I took it. But no, that was fun. I mean, of course, the big topic of today was the Max Scherzer trade because that happened. But hopefully, after whenever we do this again, maybe,
Yeah.
yeah.
You know,
Obviously, not Monday. That's our big day.
yeah. Monday is a
But
busy day. But for sure,
so,
try to squeeze in a few more, maybe in the
yeah.
upcoming week.
Yeah, definitely. We'll have to squeeze in whatever. If there's maybe even tomorrow. It just depends what news comes out tomorrow. If there's a big trade
Yeah.
tomorrow, we'll talk about it. But we'll
Yeah.
see. But
Whatever
that
comes
was
out.
fun.
Yeah. Tomorrow we'll talk about whatever new news comes out. Because let's be honest, next 2 days are gonna be pretty hectic,
Yeah,
and you know, and those are our days. And from there on out, we'll just talk about baseball and modern
go
things are
from
happening.
there.
Yeah. No. All right, that was a good episode. All right, thanks for
That was
watching.
a good one. All right, thanks.